It's really good to have Elise back. So I know after beautiful baby Sam, she showed us some pictures today, very, very happy baby. But it's really good to have her back here in person. And, you know, when you look at what's going on this week, it's unbelievable that when you see just a wave of crises after crises facing hardworking families, there is not a single bill on the floor this week to address any of the crises that families are facing. Clearly, the inflation crisis is probably the biggest cut to the paychecks of lower income and middle income families. When you look at all of the goods that are up, gasoline over 40% higher, bacon 19% higher, used cars more than 30% more. If you can find an appliance, you're going to probably pay 30% more for it because of the supply chain crisis. And yet not a single bill on the floor this week to address any of those crises. In fact, this week you see another attempt by Speaker Pelosi and the far left socialists who are driving the agenda to try to pass this massive multi-trillion-dollar tax and spend bill that would make inflation even worse. It would make these crises even worse. When you look at the package that they're trying to get passed at any cost, whether it's $1 trillion or more, it would be devastating to lower income families. When President Biden promised that anybody who makes under $400,000 won't pay a dime in new taxes, families already know that's a lie because they're paying more today for Biden's inflation, which is a tax on low income families at the highest level. And then you add on top of that trillions in new spending, things like a natural gas tax. Any family who uses natural gas in America will pay more if that bill were to become law. And they're already paying too much for energy. Energy costs are higher. Under this bill, over a 14% increase in energy costs for families. When you look at some of the other proposals and what they would do to spend this money, they want to hire another 80,000 IRS agents. Who in America thinks that having 80,000 more IRS agents is a good thing for them and their paychecks? Especially when the Biden administration wants to track every financial transaction over $600, and that's cumulative. Everything you spend, they want to track, and they'll have 80,000 more IRS agents to do just that. That will hit lower and middle income families harder than they're already being hit. And now they're trying to lower expectations for Christmas, for goodness sake. Why don't they bring bills to the floor to address those crises that they created? They can fix these crises. The border crisis can be reversed tomorrow if they just go back to the policies that were working before President Biden took office. And instead, they want to double down. They're flying thousands of people at dark of night on 2 in the morning flights to states. They don't even give a heads up to those states of who they're sending and how many. And they're trying to be secretive about all of this. This has to end. American people are demanding that we get back to sane, sound policy that works for hardworking families. That's what we as House Republicans are going to continue to promote. Policies that work for hardworking families instead of policies that are going to continue to increase inflation, to raise spending in Washington at the expense of middle class and lower income families.